Hello and good morning. My name is Tamara Kraker. I'm a coach, facilitator, and speaker on self-awareness and the Enneagram. And today I am joined by Macy from Neat and Social. Macy helps people show up online in a fun and effective way. So if you haven't checked her out, you should. And Macy is also an Enneagram 9, just like me. So welcome here, Macy.
Hi, Tamara. Thank you so much for this invite. That was so fast and so like synced in. I just
Yeah.
DM'd you and they were like, okay, let's do this. So yeah, that's
Absolutely. Well, the whole point of us doing these videos is for people to see that each Enneagram number looks at the world a little different and to give them a bit of an inside look into how you see the world. So, this worked out perfect.
yeah.
So let's dive right in. I would love to hear when you first learned your Enneagram type, what stood out to you or what made it click?
You know what? Honestly, it felt like a giant exhale. Like,
Mm,
oh my God, now it makes sense because one thing that always confused me before was that how I could understand two sides of any situation, almost any situation. I used to think of myself as, am I a traitor? Because why
no.
would I be upset with someone
Mm,
and then totally understand them a few hours later? So
mm,
learning that I was a type 9 made so much sense. I'm wired for harmony,
mm.
and I think the my ability to empathize, to adapt, to keep the peace, it's not a weakness, but it can be my strength.
Wow, that's so well put. Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's really well said and gives us a look at the fact that every Enneagram number comes with a double-edged sword, right? Two sides to that coin. Sometimes our strengths can be our weaknesses and vice versa. So, what would you say, what are some of the environments that bring out the best in you? Where do your strengths shine?
I had to think about this because there can be a lot of factors.
Mm,
But last night, I think um, it's anywhere with peace-like vibes. I
mm,
know no workplace or environment or anything that is 100% perfect, 100% harmonious,
mhm,
but if there's mutual respect,
mm,
no yelling,
mm,
and people actually listen to each other, I think that is where I thrive the most. Like here in our house, I make sure, there's no yelling in our house, no yelling with Zoe. I haven't, I don't know. I'm proud that me and my husband, we haven't yelled at each other
mm,
ever since.
mm.
So that peace like vibes, and when there is calm around me, calmness around me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like you're hoping for an environment that mirrors what you offer people. You offer that you will see things from their perspective, and you're hoping that that is the type of environment that you can live in also. That makes sense. Yeah. So, what would you say gives you energy in your work, in your home, in what you do?
Gives me energy. I
Mm,
had to imagine that I'm at my part-time job at the hospital.
mhm,
So when I feel good emotionally, mentally, and I think even physically, that's when I feel most energized.
mm,
It's also when people are in harmony, when everybody's respecting. Again, we can go back to my peace like vibes.
mhm,
That's where that's when I feel energized the most. And sometimes when I also see my imagination or goals being able to come to life, if that makes sense,
mm,
especially with my job. Say for example, um, it gives me fulfillment, it gives me energy when I fulfilled or when I'm done with the content calendar for a
mm.
for a client.
Absolutely. That makes sense. I mean, the Enneagram 9 is connected to the Enneagram 3, and often that's where I feel the most energized is when I have a to-do list that is fully complete. I get right to the end of it, which
Yes,
makes a
yes.
lot of sense. Yeah.
Yes, that. You know, sometimes I even put small stuff just to check it.
Absolutely. That makes so much sense. So on the opposite side, what are things that drain your energy at work?
I guess I guess it's chaos without direction. I
Mm,
know that again in my workplace, especially with the healthcare system, there is no perfect solution. But if I don't see that maybe the management or even the lead in a particular place doesn't have any solution for or a resolution, even small ones,
mm,
that's when I see that, oh gosh, it's draining here. If I don't see an immediate solution, if is that still connected to being a nine?
mm. For sure. Yeah, well, it's almost like living in the in-between before there's a resolution that feels probably very unsteadying and disconnecting.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you think back to, some of the times in your life when maybe you weren't so clear on what made you stressed out or feel good or some of those pieces, what's something that you wish you knew back then that you know about yourself now?
um, I wish I knew that um, waiting for the perfect moment may not may not be able to give me the peace that I'm clinging to. So,
Mm,
for example, I'm in a group setting. I always wait for my turn.
mm,
Back then, I feel like it's just me being shy or being not so confident. But now I think it's because it's for me, it's uncomfortable because for me, I'm going to a situation that is chaotic. But now that I know that it's kind of related to me being a nine, I'm slowly learning to, show up, not wait for my turn to speak up. I can say, what's in my mind anytime. I'm learning slowly but surely, being in social media, being my job, talking. um, I don't know if you noticed it, but I don't like speaking. I still fear public speaking. I still fear, being the first one to talk,
mm.
but I'm slowly learning how to do it.
There's so many good things in that. Like, I think all of us can benefit from hearing there is no perfect moment to try something that makes you feel uncomfortable. But it also sounds like you're really stretching yourself. You can feel yourself taking up more space, and I think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, yes. Like yesterday, to be honest, I've told you I haven't been to an event in a couple of months because, life is busy. But being out there again yesterday and being the first one to introduce myself, it felt liberating.
I love that. I love that. Well, and that's maybe proof of some of this Enneagram theory that some of the things that we read in the descriptors aren't necessarily who we really are, and who we really are is someone who wants to be seen for the best parts of us. So I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. Okay, last question. What is one piece of advice that you would give to someone who is wired like you?
We can go back from what I said. Maybe don't wait for the perfect moment to speak up or take action. Say the thing, do the thing, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because you don't need to be 100% sure just to show up. You don't need to shrink to keep the peace,
Mm.
because I think you can, as long as you know that there's peace inside you, you'll be good.
Mm. I love that. That's such a great way for us to end. Thank you so much for this little mini interview, Macy. I think you've given nines everywhere a lot to think about. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamara.
Have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon.